Do it. All right, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? If you're glad to be alive today, make some noise or do a little bit of something here today. Come on, y'all do much better than that. Come on, you glad to be here and glad to be alive. We welcome you to our Greater Bronzeville Community Action Partnership breakfast today, and we are so glad that all of you all are here today. Are you enjoying your food? Excellent, excellent. We are so grateful for you being here today. Could you clap it up for two great executive directors, Mr. Carl West here of the Bright Star CDC. Come on, clap better than that. Lucretia Kindred of our Bright Star Community Outreach Organization, and we're grateful for all of you all that are here. We're going to open up with a quick video. I hope you got your food. We got more food available, and we're also going to be online today, streaming live. We have great guests and great presentations today. The icebreaker was you sitting next to that person, talking to them about whatever you talk to them about today, because we want to redeem the time today and move us forward. We are excited about our speakers today, and we're excited about what we're going to be sharing with you. You can go to our Bright Star Community Outreach Facebook page, as well as our Bright Star Community Outreach YouTube page, and you can share this today. Now, there are three things you got to know before you leave this room. First of all, you have to know that you are one of the most important people in the world because you are in this room, and we're grateful to have you here. The second thing that you have to know is at least two names of two people that you did not know when you walked in this room. Y'all got that? And then the third thing you got to know is, since you know their name, go and get their social security number and use that however you want to. We're going to play this first video. Y'all clap your hands. We're glad to be here today.
Welcome to the Heart of Change, right here in Greater Bronzeville. At Bright Star Community Outreach, we're not just talking about making a difference. We're doing it. Through our Greater Bronzeville Community Action Plan, we've united over 70 organizations, all driven by a common goal: to uplift and transform our community. And we're just getting started. Here's what we've accomplished together. We're delivering life-changing programs for youth and families, ensuring that every child in Bronzeville has the opportunity to succeed. We're fighting for education equity because every student deserves access to quality education, no matter their background. We're building resilience in those affected by trauma and violence, giving them strength to overcome and thrive. And we're opening doors to employment, helping residents find good jobs and build brighter futures. But that's not all. Through our strategic partnerships, we've already provided $624,000 in financial support to 12 incredible organizations. In our first round of funding, 7 organizations received $208,000 to empower parents and engage them at the school level. And we didn't stop there. Our second round of funding brought $416,000 to support in-school programs that focus on mentoring and trauma-related services. Now, come on, y'all. Who you know doing that? We're looking to the future with hope, collaboration, and commitment to making Greater Bronzeville a more livable, vibrant, and thriving community for all. We're expanding our outreach, bringing in even more partners into the fold, and seeking additional resources to enhance our impact. Together, we're tackling critical issues like mental health, economic development, and education, ensuring our programs stay relevant and effective. This is just the beginning, and we're excited to have you with us on this journey. Together, let's make lasting improvements in Greater Bronzeville and beyond.
Y'all clap your hands for collaborative support. Keep those hands together for Executive Director Lucretia Kindred.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bright Star Community Outreach, and I'm so excited to have you all here. We use a lot of acronyms when we're presenting, so I just want to give you a heads up. You may hear me say an acronym, GBNN. Everybody say GBNN. That stands for the Greater Bronzeville Neighborhood Network. You may also hear me refer to GBCAC. Everybody say GBCAC. The Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council. And so how many people were with us last month by a raise of hands? All right, welcome back, welcome back. How many people, this is your first meeting with us this year? Awesome, awesome. So we did our job. We challenged everybody to make sure to help us get the word out and make sure that everybody that needed to be in this room is here. But I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means exactly. We refer to you all sometimes as stakeholders. Everybody say stakeholders. And when we were together last month, we went through and we talked about all the stakeholders that are in our ecosystem, okay? These are folks that help to make up the Greater Bronzeville Neighborhood Network, that help to make up the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council. And we said we want to have a clear understanding of who those members are and what their role should be. And we asked you to tell us if we were missing anything. And so I just want you to know that our team, we went through each stakeholder group, starting with our youth. Everybody give a round of applause for our youth. We understand that we cannot do anything for them without them, right? It is important that their voice is included. So as we shared last time, there is a drive that everybody will have access to, so you can go back and take a look. But again, some of those stakeholder groups are the youth advisory councils. What we said is these are youth-led bodies elevating young voices in decision making. And one of the things that we said as a group, as this council is envisioned as a way to empower young people and give them autonomy in community and school decision making. Another theme that was prevalent when we got together last time is sustaining engagement, including considering stipends. How many people that young people like to get paid? They're looking for avenues and opportunities to get paid. So we are taking all of this feedback and including it as a part of our plans. Another group, here, making sure, maybe I'm not doing this right. Let's go to the next slide. Team, help me out here. Parent advisory councils. Anyone in this room a part of a PAC? Parent, all right. Welcome. All right. So we know that these are our primary advocates supporting children's learning and development, but we also received your feedback and we included it. Next slide, please. Local school council. How many local school council members do we have? Awesome. Round of applause for our local school council members. Thank you for being present. Next slide, please. Our data, metrics, and education analytics experts. How many people love data? We know that we can't ask for what without data? Dollars without data. So this is an important part of our stakeholder groups. We want to be able to be accountable and measure and be able to share our impact. Next slide, please. Social services agencies. How many social services agencies we have? All right, awesome, welcome. Next slide. Healthcare institutions, right? So we know our neighbors are here. Yep, healthcare institutions. If you're in the room, raise your hand. All right. Listen, I am excited about this. We should be excited that we have so far have a member from every stakeholder group present in this meeting, okay? That's the meaning and definition of collective. Sister agencies, these are partner organizations that are collaborating across community. We share best practices, right? So some of those things that we brought up in the meeting is that we need Chicago Alternative Policing Strategies, CAPS, which emphasizes partnerships between city entities, the police department, and community members. I know our last meeting, we had some members from our police department here. Do we have any representation from this group? All right, we are on a roll. Okay, next slide. Community-based organizations. Now, this should be, I'm going to take a little moment here. I'm going to just sit right here for just a second. We are the conveners, right? We are able to bring people to the table that normally wouldn't come. If you are here representing a community-based organization today, I need you to raise your hand and make some noise. Amazing, amazing. Next slide, please. Faith-based organizations. Our faith leaders, thank you for being present and accounting for. Next slide, please. Our business community. These are people with the deep pockets. Where you at? Go ahead and raise your hand. Don't hide. Don't hide. We know you're here. All right. Thank you for being here. Next slide, please. Our foundations. Any representation, this is another group with some deep pockets or connections to deep pockets. Do we have any members from foundations here? No, not yet. They're in your phone. So we got some work to do because we want them to be present, right? So they can understand and know what we are doing and what we want to do. Next slide. Elected officials. Come on. Come on. All right. There we go. I know we had a few with us last month as well. Next slide. Our legal aid firms. Listen, you always got to have somebody to call just in case we get locked up for making good trouble. Okay? This is important. This is an important part. Community organizers and activists. I know a lot of us, we fall into this category whether we want to or not. If you consider yourself to be a part of this, you're a community organizer or activist, please raise your hand. All right, take a look around the room. So when you get ready to start that good trouble, call these folks. Next group, education experts. These are licensed educators, instructional leaders. You provide curriculum. You're teaching our youth in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Raise your hand and make some noise if you're in the building today. All right, I think we have housing. I know a housing guru. I just saw her just a moment ago. Where is she? There she is. Real estate organizations that help make sure that we have access to affordable housing, right? We are here. Let's make some noise for our housing and real estate organization representatives. I think that's it. One more. All right. So the reason this is all important. We want to make sure that we are including each and every one of you in the decisions that we make when it comes to organizing community and what needs to be done. We don't want to make up things and assume that we know. We want you to tell us. So it is important that you show up each and every time to these meetings. We are going to align resources and efforts together. We know that we are better together. Our CEO says that all the time, right? There's strength in numbers. And so we already shared that there is a pot of money that we've begun to put together and it's growing, right? And so we're bringing not just only data, but real dollars to the organizations. This is going to strengthen our collaboration and trust. Everything that we do in this meeting has a meaning and a purpose. So when we came in last time, we noticed that it took a lot of time for us to get your food served. So we said in our executive committee meeting, we need to cut that in half. We need to make sure that it feels like family when you come into this room. And how many people have conversations over bread? When you're breaking bread, you know the trust that is built just by sitting and talking with your neighbor. So we wanted to make sure that you had more time to do that. So if you appreciate that, please show my staff by giving them a round of applause for all the work that they do. And so we're going to improve our problem-solving efforts, increase community ownership, and strengthen advocacy and influence. So again, you are a vital member of these stakeholder groups. We heard your feedback. We're incorporating that into everything that we do, and we thank you for being here on this morning. So I think that's all my time, and we're going to go to a quick video, and then after that, we'll hear back from Pastor Harris.
My friends, you gotta share this with every pastor you know. Please do it right now. Chris Harris here, and I'm back to share something I'm super excited about. We've officially launched our first ever Turn Model Replication Cohort. And let me tell you, it's already something special. Faith and community leaders from across the country have been asking, PCH, how did you start Bright Star Community Outreach? How did you get hospitals, philanthropists, and foundations to donate tens of millions of dollars to your community-based organization? How did you recruit executives to sit on your board and partner with your vision? Harris, when will you start teaching others how to do what you've done? How can I replicate in my city what you've accomplished in Chicago? Well, family, you challenged me and I have answered. Our first group of leaders came ready to grow, to lead, and to be stretched. But we're already seeing the results. One of our participants said, "This experience not only changed how I lead, it completely changed me." Another participant even secured new funding directly tied to what they learned in this experience. For 12 consecutive weeks, our participants are being poured into by myself, our staff, trusted partners, and top-tier industry experts. We don't claim to know it all, but we've built a strong network of faith-based, philanthropic, and nonprofit leaders who are willing to take this journey with you. Now, you know I don't play about good work, and this cohort experience is no different. Each week, we dig deep into the books and principles that shaped my leadership. This isn't reading for inspiration alone. This is a pathway to transformation. Every session connects real-world strategies like trauma-informed leadership, sustainable systems, effective program design, and strong partnerships, helping you lead with clarity, confidence, and capacity. And wait, pastors, leaders, we even went further. We've provided a template letter that you can use to request your organization or sponsor to invest in your participation. Because the truth is, your community needs your leadership. Listen, despite what some of the headlines are saying, Chicago is thriving. And much of that progress comes from faith and nonprofit leaders who refuse to sit on the sidelines. Now it's your turn to lead transformation where you are. Whatever you do, don't believe the hype. Funding is available, and I want to teach you how to get it. Replicating our work is possible, and I want to show you how to do it. So go right now to brightstarcommunityoutreach.com. Click the Turn Replication link that is right there and register today. Trust me, this is the moment that you want to say yes. So don't let this second train leave without you. Let's all get to work. Y'all clap your hands in here, everybody. We are really, really privileged today. I am the founding chairman of the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council. All GBCAC members and EC members, would you please stand? Could y'all clap for our leaders of the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council? Come on, y'all do better than that. Thank you. We have many of them that are watching us by way of online streaming, and we are so grateful, and we are really, really honored to be able to host you all in the Greater Bronzeville area. But we had a meeting on last week, and we are super excited about the fact that we have something called the All-City CAC. It is all of the CACs across the city and some of the other chairs and members of the various groups that are Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council partners. They have their CACs in their own communities. All CAC chairs, vice chairs, and members of other CACs, would you all please stand? Y'all, we're collaborating together. Y'all go crazy for these other leaders. Come on now. They've come to see how you're doing over there in Bronzeville. How are you doing it in the Greater Bronzeville community? And now we're getting ready to replicate the same exact work in collaboration with all of them. Can I get y'all to do me a favor? Just touch somebody that's by you right now. If they don't want to touch you, don't you touch them. But since y'all at my church and my building act like you at church, touch that neighbor and say, I don't care what you say. I am thoroughly convinced we are all better together. Make some noise in here if you believe that. Come on. Community-based organizations, make some noise in here. Pastors, make some noise in here. Educators, make some noise in here. Business owners, make some noise in here. All of our leaders of organizations, make some loud noise up in here. We are better together, and we are absolutely excited about collaboration. More people are constantly walking in. Those that are standing at the back, we save these front tables for y'all. These are called the late tables, so y'all come on up. No, we're kidding. Come on, sit on either side, and we're glad more people are coming in, and this is really what it's all about. This is mind-blowing. This is absolutely transformational. I would even submit to you all that this is catalytic. But let me tell you, as we move to our next phase, I'm truly excited about our next presenter. let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I am excited not only that she is leading our schools currently, I'm excited that she is one who has been dedicated to this city and to this district, to our children, to our schools for decades. She is, let me tell you, I sent you all a letter out, and I shared with you all that I literally reflect and agree with the sentiments of that great bishop, Malcolm X. Malcolm X, the baby said it, Malcolm X. That's right, waving at me. Hey, thank you for saying that. The baby will never forget that, Malcolm X. Say it one more time. Everybody say Malcolm X. Malcolm X. See, the baby he on top of it. Now listen to me good. He said, the most unprotected human being in the world is the black woman. Most unsupported human being. Y'all ain't gonna clap for that, huh? Is the black woman. And can I tell you all, we have the blessed privilege. I've been knowing her since I was 17 years old, and a woman of great integrity. And she's leading our schools as the interim CEO. And I can say what I want to say, and I hope the permanent CEO of Chicago Public Schools. Will you stand on your feet and welcome Dr. Macquillan King as she comes to share with us. Make some noise for Greater Bronzeville and City of Chicago. Come on, make her feel welcome, y'all.
Thank you, Pastor Harris. And since he's known me since 17, I think I can play the friend card. How much funding is available? We need a little money over here. No, it is a great privilege to be here, and I truly mean that. In service to the district, but also in community. And this is my community. That is how I came to meet Pastor Harris. I did a bit of a stint on 4040 South Oakenwall, and that's where I grew up a big portion of my life. And I attend New Hope Community Baptist Church, where I gifted Pastor Harris in the choir with my song. God doesn't care how it sounds. It all sounds the same. It goes up to God. But it is my deep commitment and understanding of what it is like to attend school in Bronzeville. And to be here, it's really inspiring to see that the Bronzeville community has all that it needs to make sure that every student, every school, and for us, this community has all that it needs to ensure that the students of Bronzeville has a high-quality education and success post-secondary education. And that's what's special. I appreciate the roll call because I wanted to know who's in the room. Because this means that as you look at the entire educational landscape of the Bronzeville community, we all hold a responsibility to what you see. I do want to acknowledge that I am here with board members who are fighting the good fight with us. Board Member Smith and Board Member Biggs. This is a defining moment. And the reason this gathering of this size is really important is because this is the energy and the synergy and the momentum that you all need to sustain. Right. Having the local school councils in the room, PAC members, some schools with BAC members. I'm using a lot of the LSC BAC. Yeah, this is important. Change starts with you. Schools do not operate in isolation. They do not. The stronger schools are embedded in the context of a healthy and thriving community. And I know that is what your aspirations and goals are for the schools of Bronzeville and greater, because I know that there are other CACs here, and that is the vision for the district. What is needed as we move forward to a fully elected school board is that we activate the community base. You all have just been promoted. You've been promoted. You've been promoted. Everybody's promoted. On behalf of the children of Chicago Public Schools, we need your voice. The first line of defense is that every school in Bronzeville needs to have a fully staffed local school council. Yeah. Everybody, business members. So that's why I appreciate the roll call. I saw some hands. We need business members, community members, the teachers, and the parents. You all are a driving force from this moment on. What the schools will be is up to you. And it doesn't mean that everybody will contribute in the same way. You all have unique gifts and talents that will strengthen the schools and the communities to ensure that the schools have what they need. We need to make sure that if there's a parent advisory council at the school, there should be. Those need to be well attended. If there's a bilingual advisory council, those need to be well attended. And so when you're gathering here, this is cumulative for you to hear and learn about what's happening at the district. And we're doing our part to make sure our community members are informed. This is my second time at the meeting. Second time. Moving forward, whoever your leader is, you need the data. How did you say dollars and data? That's right. So your local school councils, your PACs, your BACs, support your board members. Your board members need to hear from you. They are advocating from you. So each of the different schools that are located within community, they need to hear from you so that when they go and do all the magic for free, they know that they're representing you and what's needed in the moment within your community. How many of you know it changes? In so many of the communities, we say every student, every school, every community, what one community needs, the other may not need as much of. This year, we were challenged with federal activity. So we're trying to make sure that we're balancing and making sure we're supporting the schools with the resources that they need in response to federal activity. But we know there are other neighborhoods that were already challenged with some acts of violence. We're dealing with it all, and the way we deal with it in a way that's responsive, we need to hear from you. So I'm going to keep repeating. The local school councils, the BACs, the PACs, you support your board members. Your board members come down to the committees that they serve. They speak with me. And then we make sure that data equates to dollars of how we allocate the resources that are needed to make sure the schools are thriving. You all have the infrastructure. This is amazing. Not just because there's eggs and bacon on the table. It's community, and you all provide a perspective that we need. The benefits of a fully elected school board is this: turning the schools back over to communities, those of you who live in community and understand community. We can't respond culturally if we don't know what the culture is and as it's changing and shifting as the world does. So we want to be responsive. Isn't that right, board members? We want to be responsive. We want to be transparent. We want to make sure that we're in it with you, you feel it, and you believe it. So I wanted to say, let me talk about budget, because I know that's, one of the things we did last year. We balanced the budget, and there was a huge deficit, and we're constantly balancing the budget. That does not go away. So why this space and the local school councils, the GBCACs, and the PACs and the BACs? I wanted to give my alignment again. Local school councils, I want you all, and the PACs and BACs supporting your GBCACs. And I did want to say, not all communities have them. So you have a leg up. You have the infrastructure. So you're ahead in so many ways. So with the budget, as we're moving forward, and we're facing another tough year. That's why, Pastor Harris, I'm going to be on that stream too, because we need just about only $500 million. That's all we need. That's not all we need. No, but what's important is we're going to balance. We'll get there. But we have to make sure that we're not compromising the schools, the programming, and the needs of the students. How do you think we know what's most important? In addition to the data, how else will we know? People speaking up. You all come to the board. I'm inviting them to the board meetings, you all. I look for you all in board meetings. My pulse, not just what, the data and the teams, I keep a pulse on the district by who comes to public participation and what do I hear. And I go back, and then I work with my teams. It may be an oversight, it may be misinformation, it may not be there. But I do not know if I do not hear from community. We do not know if we do not hear from community. So funding is very important. We are one CPS, and we know the pot is the pot. But I don't want us to just solely focus on Bronzeville. When we're thinking and planning, we have to think about the city as a whole. That's right. I truly believe every student, every school, every community, they are all our students, and this is one big city. But we can't compromise, and I think that's what I want to just acknowledge the harm that has happened in the past. We're working through that. It gives us great insight. We know we need to address it. However, we can't continue it. There can't be a Hunger Games among programming and funding because we don't just reside in Bronzeville. That's right. We have to go downtown. Y'all, I did move to the west side. Don't judge me. We have to go on the west side. We have to go to Garfield Park. No, I'm teasing. But we have some really strong communities that need to learn in community with the greater Bronzeville CAC. We have to think and make decisions what's best for Bronzeville, but in the context of the larger district. That is the only way we move this district forward. My vision for Bronzeville would be that you have a full educational landscape. You know where your babies are from pre-K, and then all the way through post-secondary opportunities that are outlined. So if you wanted to be fully educated and return to the socioeconomic engine of Bronzeville, you can. Do you all know what that landscape looks like? Where are your CPS early childhood centers? Where are your community-based centers? But you will have the same expectation regardless of where that child attends. And then following through early childhood, intermediate, middle school, high school, and along the way, businesses. Students do like to get paid. What internships are available? What summer jobs or jobs that go past, the summer into the regular school year? You all know our students need things to do, whether it's after school or if it's employment, whether it's sports activities. This is what I give to the community. What is the life experience for a child to thrive from birth through post-secondary in the greater Bronzeville community? How do we build that out with this amazing crowd that we have here? And then how do we share that out across the city? Because that's what's needed at this point. We are going to be the architects of the educational landscape, not just in Bronzeville, but across Chicago. You all are positioned to lead that charge and to build that with the other CACs that are in existence. And if there are some communities that are without, how do we bring them into the fold? Because right now, as of January of 2027, you all will represent the next phase of Chicago Public Schools. What does that look like? So I'm excited about the possibility of what can be. And because I did grow up right on the lakefront, 4040 South Oakenwall, every elementary school I attended is closed. At my high school is closed. But I'm still here. because of community that supported me. Family and community. That's why this space, with all of the stakeholders that are in this room, you now have been promoted. And not just the children of Bronzeville are relying on you, the adults. So are the other school districts, or the other communities, all 77. I know it's a heavy charge, but you can do it. So I am grateful to be in your presence, as I stated. I don't know, Pastor Harris, if you want them to ask questions. What do you want? Okay.
Y'all clap it up for our CEO. Stay right there. Isn't it wonderful that we have the kind of leadership that says, I want to be present? And so what's in this room are senior leaders of organizations. And all of you all represent major stakeholder crowds, because all of you all are influencers. You lead people, whether it be the community-based organizations or the faith-based organizations, all of you all that are leading the various schools, and all of the business owners saying, how can we be a part of what's happening? And CEO King, let me tell you what this group did. We voted as a team in the GBCAC to say, let's make sure we enlarge the tent. Let's make sure we collaborate in a major way. And beyond that, here is where all of us can clap. We decided that we will focus on education first, because our babies deserve that. Come on, clap for great folks in this room who understand that if we start there, everything else goes well. And so we will entertain a few questions for the CEO on today as we get ready to move. So we have our first one here. If you have any questions, please stand in the back. We have one here. Please stand. Once I point to you, one in the back. Please stand. Come on, right there. And then give me two more. Give me two from this side if we have any questions. Any going ones? Because, you know, once people start talking, all of a sudden everybody say they want to raise their hand. All right, we have one over there and there. Thank you. Please stand. So, because these are the ones that we're going to. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Nicole Sain, and it is such a pleasure to meet you here in person. And I love the fact that you said this is divine intervention in so many words, because I do believe this. So I am the founder of Transcend Wellness. And what started off as a concern with me living in Bronzeville, I will admit that my business is physically located in a virtual office outside of Bronzeville. But she's autistic, and I realized that there was a big gap when it came to the oral care and how it also impacts those with sensory differences. So we have our first Black-owned fluoride-free hydroxyapatite enriched toothpaste in the United States called Talk. That led to us forming a STEM program, because I'm super passionate about educating the youth. I've seen certain students, my twins, my daughter is a twin.
Hurry up and get to that question.
Yeah. Okay. The question is, I need her to remember me. But, okay, more so, I kind of hit on it. My concern is that I'm already an approved CPS vendor, and we are approved with our first school. But will there be a negative impact from me not having an actual address focus in Bronzeville? That's really for both of you, because I'm targeting Bronzeville schools, because we need that representation when it comes to the oral care and the STEM education.
We got it. So for me, I'll give you my answer first. Yeah. I don't know. Go ahead, your turn.
I think if I understand your question correctly, I think, I'm used to talking with my hands, so this is difficult, but I think what you're asking is if you applied for vendorship to concentrate and focus on Bronzeville, will that hinder you from going outside of Bronzeville? No?
Right. Okay. As I'm continuing to, it's the opposite. It's the fact that I'm focusing on Bronzeville as a whole. But I know that from the address purposes and with all of what may come from being in this community, are we limiting it to only physical addresses, business related in Bronzeville? So I feel like it's more related to you than her.
And so if we don't have the answer, we'll follow up for sure. And so if we don't have the answer today, we'll follow up for sure, and we'll make sure that we get that answer.
Let's follow up.
Perfect.
To make sure
Excellent. Next question.
Hi, my name is Harriet Coleman, and I am with Alternative Schools Network. I am one of the directors. We actually have a high school that's right here in the Carruthers Center building. And I just wanted to know, of our 21 schools, and we are across the city of Chicago, how we can become just more engaged and involved in what's going on. This is my first meeting. Pastor Harris, you know, we used to sing in the youth choir together. But out of the 53 years we've been in existence, I've been there 24. So I'm very passionate about what I do. And when I got the invitation, I had to come and be a part of the table. So how can Alternative Schools Network, which we are under Youth Charter Connection, which is still connected to CPS, just be more involved in the movement of what's going on?
That's a great question. So I talked about the educational landscape within Chicago, and what we've experienced, you may have noticed that charters have been in the news quite a bit, and our board has grappled with, effectively transitioning those charters that are no longer part of charter. That's not really your point, but it's caused us to acknowledge, first of all, that all of the children are our children. And so that we have to be responsive to all of those children along the continuum, whether it's pre-K, post-secondary, regardless of where you find yourselves in that continuum. It is our responsibility to support our students as a whole. As a principal, what I realized is that I was a principal leading a school within the district, a district-led school, but I often received students from charter. Or some students would leave to go to charter, or some of the alternative schools that were available. So what we are working on is improving our communication to parents and students, regardless of what type of school you are enrolled in. There are some really exciting progress that we're working on at CPS. I don't know if I can say it just yet, with, we call them the ALOF schools, which they are alternative network option schools. So we have a lot of network to support those students, but I think what you're saying is you want more communication to be more involved and your students to be more involved. And that's exactly what our plan is, and to make it clear. And I think that as we talk about business leaders here, that's why it's important for us to have that additional support to make sure that students that enroll in an alternative school, there are different needs that need to be met. And that's where partnerships and understanding who's in the room, who's available within a community to support students is a need. So we need to build out our resources around the supports, but we will be working on improving our communication to students that are enrolled in the alternative network, schools that are in the alternative network.
And the good news for this is all of the leaders that are in this room from CPS, I mean, what other meeting do you go to where you have the CEO here and two of our board members here, our network chiefs here? Y'all clap your hands. This is what it's all about. This is why we encourage you to come to our meetings and make it worth your time. Next question.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Dr. King. I am Tiffany Washington. I'm the Chief Program Officer for a nonprofit called Urban Initiatives. We do sports-based youth development to make sure kids are learning the social and emotional skills they need to be successful. In spite of the budget deficit, so much research data has shown that when students feel connected to school, to a caring, loving adult in their school environment, their attendance increases. Attendance also equals dollars, right? So in spite of all that's happening with the budget, can you share with us your vision for how to make sure that there's still some programming that takes place outside of the classroom for students, especially in our underserved communities, considering just how much those types of activities lead students to that feeling of connectedness? Yes.
Yeah, so this is where community voice becomes really important, and the local school councils, because you're closest to the students, teachers, parents. We need to understand what the interest is. We all know with this generation, or I don't know if you all have paid attention, they like experiences. They're all about the experience. So if the principal or the leadership, we start identifying things for them to do, and it's not high interest, or it doesn't meet the requirements of the experience, we often have a lot of programs that go unattended. So what we have done this year, because we are in the budgeting process, starting early, and we want to make sure that every dollar is accounted for, but in a meaningful way. We are asking departments to talk to their leadership, and then the network chiefs and the principals to talk to the students, because the information has to get up to us so that we allocate dollars that are high interest to the students that are also experiential, because that's what keeps them. And that looks different. It can look different from school to school. It could look different from community to community and network to network. So the challenge is making sure that student voice is elevated so that we're allocating dollars, the ones that we do have, a lot more once Pastor Harris gives me the hookup, but to make sure that there's programming after school, but then I also want to elevate sports. So when we think about all of the different programming opportunities that we have available, the sports, that's really big. And we know that for sports, people think that's just athletics. Everybody's not athletically inclined. I want to challenge you all to think about everything that our students do is a potential career for them. Come on. And athletics is not just the athlete itself. They're not making the most money, contrary to popular belief. Right. Who makes the most money? Owners and agents. So we have to make sure that our sports program doesn't limit our students to just the athletics portion, the athletes. The other, and I know Board Member Smith will agree with me, is the arts. Arts is not just going in and our kids coloring on a piece of paper. It's not. And I share oftentimes, when I led the school in Uptown, we went through the process of becoming a regional gifted. And I was like, well, I want to go through it too. I'm coaching the teachers. And what I learned is that arts is an area of giftedness. But what are the opportunities for artists in Bronzeville within our schools? That's the type of information and data points that we have to get back and stress with local school councils, PACs, BACs. You take it to our board members so that we can ensure that the dollars are there, not just for the special or the prep, but for the career opportunities. And Chicago is rich in the arts, whether it's visual or if it's dance, theater, filming, all very important. So thank you for that question, to just think about how you, the students, get that information to the right people so that the dollars are allocated based on the interest and the experience that the students within the schools are looking for.
One of the things I want to be very clear on is the reason we're collaborating in this room today is so that all of us, I'm going to see if anybody clap on this, all of us can go get the hookup and get the money together. Right? Because if we take this thing from a solo to a symphony, nobody will be able to ignore our voice. Because one of the things that's true is our leaders and funders, the corporate, philanthropic, the government, they find money for what they want to find money for. The problem is the community is not organized enough to be loud enough to say, if you ignore us, you are no longer employed. We got everybody running for office today, but nobody should be running for office if they ain't going to run for our community and run us that money. Clap your hands. Next comment over here.
Thank you. Madam CEO, thank you for being here. Pastor, thank you for the invitation. You lit me in that chair on fire when we got to jobs for youth. So Courtney Jones, I'm the founder of the Alliance for Housing Progress. We're a technical assistance provider. We're doing the first day of hope through real estate that involves careers for youth in June. And it's going to be on the west side. But really quick, the first part is, can you kind of give us, if it's happened, an outline or a carbon copy of How does community galvanize around providing jobs and mentorship for youth? Because if there's a structure, I would love to be one of the volunteers to help kind of put that together so it's a coordinated effort and it doesn't just stay in this room with all of us great folks. And then the second part is, with our Day of Hope, we would be honored, if possible, to have CPS be one of the ambassadors so that that education component can come from you leaders as opposed to just the volunteers. Thank you.
Let me start with, first, there is the former One Summer Chicago, I think is now Youth Works, Chicago Youth Works. And so there's an open application process, and I'm not quite sure of when, but all community-based organizations, institutions can apply and be supported with hiring students during the summer, and some of those opportunities extend past the summer.
Dr. King, use that mic.
Oh, okay. There you go. So that's one opportunity. One is something that I believe you all can create within the schools. It is a model that's happening with CTE, the trades. So there's the regular school day, and afterwards for the Chicago Skilled Trades Fair that's happening right now, and I know it's not open to the public, but I think it's an amazing opportunity, is for trades. But I do believe that's something we should consider for after school in other areas. I just talked about the arts. I just talked about athletics. We could be business, entrepreneurship. So after students complete the day, the school day, there's more of an experience happening where the students are applying those skills that they've learned during the course of the school day. And in that extended period of time, there could be internships, that could come with a stipend. There could be more in-depth opportunities to learn from artists, business people, because we know business people work during the course of the school day, but that after school time becomes prime to allow students to actually engage in conversation and experience with those that are actually in the field, which also allows for us to bring along that next generation, that next wave of teachers and, business people, or I'm going to go back to artists because that's what I'm thinking about, but because that's what's top of mind for us in the conversations that we're having. So I do believe there's the opportunity to partner with the city through the Chicago Youth Works, but I also think that as you all innovate your schools, there is an opportunity in after school to bring businesses, especially community businesses in the after school portion to support students and employment.
I'll ask two questions.
Blessed morning, Pastor Harris, Dr. King, and the community. My name is LaShawn Brown. I'm from South Shore, and I am the co-chair of the Southeast Greater Community Action Council, which was newly formed. I know Pastor Harris from when the original CACs were formed, and we had the South Shore Community Action Council. I work with the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, and I am an education and housing advocate, always. I am a former SPED teacher with Chicago Public Schools as well. And thank you, Courtney, for that question, because as it relates to workforce development and opportunities, that was kind of the question I was going to ask, but I'm going to flip it a little bit and go a little bit more high level, especially since we have some board members in here. Last week we had an all-CAC meeting and had a wonderful presentation that was shared with from Pastor Harris and Pastor Neal about all of the things that have been accomplished and are still in the works, and the sharing of information, which is making us greater than the sum of our parts. And I believe wholeheartedly in the unified effort. And this question is really about the board. The ideology of accountability for board members, now that we have elected boards officials, I just want to know how the community, how the greater city can support the opportunity to make sure that possibly two things. The board members would be compensated for for their efforts, because this is a great charge. We got a lot of accountability and responsibility that we're going to be putting upon our board members. We intend we would like to be able to spread the community action councils throughout the entire city of Chicago. And that would also involve greater capacity for family and community engagement, of course, but also to wipe out all these boundaries and to hold the board members accountable, where they have to collaborate and hear directly from and work directly with the community members in each of the 77 neighborhoods. So in the wake of the city budget crisis, the state budget crisis, and the abandonment with the federal administration and funding, how can the community help with regards to assuring that we can expand our community action councils, and hope to get your support on that?
She got it, LaShawn. Let's go. Come on.
And I definitely support the expansion, which is why I called for you all to support, coach, and nurture future CACs that aren't in existence. And I do want to acknowledge that I think she just put you all on notice about you're about to get to work. So it's state legislation that has to be changed in state legislation for them to be paid. And I do want to acknowledge that, again, another benefit that you all have for Greater Bronzeville CAC is that you have 2 highly engaged board members. And so that's another reason for you all, give them. So that is a benefit that you have. So it just means for you all, you have a really strong start. Strengthen your local school councils. Make sure that there are no empty seats. Make sure your PACs are active. Find out what your parents can do to support. Find out what your business members can do to support all of the schools. Strengthen those different committees. Your board members will be there. They will be there. That is the benefit that you have. Then make sure that in each of those different committees, you have a system of gathering information to make sure that they are making informed decisions in all of their free working hours. So that is my best, but you have my support, local school councils, the FACE department, Greater Bronzeville CAC. If I know, it's yours. We're working on it in collaboration, and I'm going to lean on you. You know better, you do better. So I'm going to be leaning on you to ensure that we have this level of support and engagement across the city, because we need it. By January 2027, we need to be fully activated across the city in all 77 communities.
Let me just acknowledge the fact that I'm the founding chair of the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council, and I've been there from day one. Same thing with people like Keith Muhammad and others. I just want to take a point of personal privilege to just acknowledge the fact that for all these years, and this is our last question, we're going to make it fast because we know you got to go. Can we clap for her taking all this time? She should have been gone, but thank you for your patience. What we can tell you as CAC chairs and as Community Action Council members, CPS has been run by a temp agency for years. For years. Every time we engage, quote unquote, the new CEO, before we know it, they're gone. None of them last more than 4 years. And then we have to start all the way over and re-engage. And let me just say, you are literally the first CEO to say, number one, I'm committed to CACs, and you are the absolute first one to say we should expand them across the city. I think that deserves crazy acknowledgement. Thank you for believing in the work that we do, because just like the board members, we also are unpaid. Next question.
Good morning, Dr. King.
Good morning.
I'm Rashida Nicole Berry. Just want to start by saying how grateful I am that you are in this seat. I have watched your work for decades. I know that you are committed to CPS, and I know you make sound decisions. We are grateful that you are here. Secondly, I am the executive director for Kindred Civic Arts Forum, where we do work on the west and south sides in arts, culture, and civic engagement. What we have found in the spirit that Pastor Harris is naming, in our effort to continue to support schools in raising dollars for arts and culture, because it's typically not in the budget, they don't have folks in place who can go after Illinois Arts Council money, Arts Alliance of Illinois money. So when the grant is there and they can't write the grant, how do we support filling that gap? And then the second question is related to PACs. Because schools have resources for parent advisory councils and parent training, but administrators don't often have the time and attention to focus on getting quality, they either lose that money or they bring in programming that's not efficient and sustainable. How can we link those two needs together to support our schools?
That's a good question. What your question raises for me, it makes me think about what a principal is tasked with on a daily basis. And I have stood here for I don't know how many minutes, and we have not even talked about academics. We have not. And so for us, it is important that we return principals to becoming instructional leaders. Yes. We have to make sure that we give space for that. And so we are working with, we have DPQ here, we have our Office of Network Supports, and the Chicago Principal Alliance Association. There needs to be alignment, first and foremost. That's why the community is so important. We have to allow the principals and the teachers to teach. And then we need the wraparound support services to come from those the other support staff within the building and community. Because this looks different. It's too different across the schools. What is needed is for us to, within the greater Bronzeville CAC or any of the other South Shore CAC, we need to begin to understand what opportunities are available within our communities. We don't have line of sight on that. That's another reason why this meeting and gathering is important. We don't know what to leverage. We don't know who's available. We need to have in real time all of the resources that are available. And the way we would have access to that would be through meetings like this or the local school council or the parent advisory councils. We need to know who's in the building, like who's in community, so that we can leverage those resources. But that's usually the mode of communication, going through those committees that are available at the school. And if we all can get those committees strengthened, I'm committed to working with principals. I know Dr. Jasmine is committed, and our face to ensure that those needs are being met.
Y'all do me a favor. Let's give a standing ovation to our CEO, Dr. Macmillan King. Come on, make some noise for her. Come on, y'all do better. I'm going to ask everybody, have your seat real quick. Here's what we'll ask you to do. Because we're going to move fast, because we're going to tell you how board member accountability, strategy around getting funding, we're getting ready to share that with you all now. And I'm so grateful that you took the time to be here today. The only thing that I'll ask you to do, because our CEO came here today to be with us and share with us, and she stayed way longer than she was supposed to because she's going to another one, please don't meet her in the hall and stop her. Will y'all do that? Let her get on up out of here. So y'all clap your hands for her as she leave and you stay. Come on, y'all do better than that. We're so grateful. Kareem, you can stop her now. Just go and get her out of here. She's late. Thank you. I understand. I get it. I really, really do. But we want to make sure that we respect the fact that she came to be with us today and took all of this time. Aren't we grateful? One more time. Y'all give it up. We know you can't stay here, but we sure hope you stay in office. Clap one more time. Thank you, Julie and the team. Thank you, Chip, and also to Chief Sanders, all of you all who came with it. We're really appreciative. Now, we get ready to share this next piece with you all. And, Christian, I'm ready for these quick slides. And I want you all to understand that what you see us doing is collaborating to figure out how we will be able to make sure that we collaborate for the long term. Before you leave this room, we're going to give you the next date for our next Community Action Council meeting next month, and we want you to be here. But let me just pause parenthetically and ask you all, how many of you all in this room voted? Raise your hand. Already. Come on, y'all. Come on, keep your hands up. Look at all these folks that have voted. I voted yesterday. Thank you. How many of y'all still have to vote? Raise your hand. Look at all these people. Please make sure you vote. People died so that we will have this privilege to be able to do so. So thank you for your civic engagement. We're really, really grateful. Let me just share this with you. And as they have it there on the screen, it is important that you understand that this, next slide, our Greater Bronzeville Community Action Plan, we're going to put a QR code on the screen for you at this very moment. And those of y'all that did not do this on last month, will you do that? Do we have the same QR code from last month? I want to make sure that you all have the ability to get to those documents that we have available for our Greater Bronzeville Community Action Plan. Come on, take your phones out real quick. I know the iPhones worked last month. Okay, so the Androids did work as well. So go ahead, look at the screen. Everybody, it will lead you to our drive. In the drive, you will have our Greater Bronzeville Community Action Plan. In the drive, you have funding that we have made available via the United Way of Metropolitan Chicago, of which the Bright Star Community Outreach, we are the lead agency for the Greater Bronzeville Neighborhood Network. So we want to let you know about the funding that is available. In that drive that you're going to right now is our published document as it relates to research that we have done as a Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council, as the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Plan partners. We have done a whole lot of work, and it brings you up to speed. And then last but not least, in that drive, you also have access to the next steps and what we're doing, especially all of the work that we've been able to do with the University of Chicago. They have helped us to make sure that we use that data. And let's all say, no dollars without data. Say, no money without metrics. Say, no expansion without evaluation. And that is the hymnal that we sing from on a constant basis. That's why collaboration is important. Whenever there's funding available, we turn into the hungry hippos, and everybody is trying to go after that one marble. But we don't have to do that. How much better is it when we say we're not going to go after $10,000. We're all going to go together and go after millions and millions of dollars. And we have proven that that works. And can you clap for Lucretia and Carl, who's sharing all of that information with you? And we're really, really excited for these opportunities. He will come up a little bit later and tell you about free space that is available in the Turn Center. That is my former elementary school that is right across the street, Carter G. Woodson School. The principal of the Carter G. Woodson School is in the house and always faithful with the GBCAC. Would you please stand? Miss Littlejohn, our principal, is here. Come on, y'all. And also some of the other leaders that are here. And so they allowed us to open up that building, partner with them, and community-based organizations are able to go in there. And so if you want that free space for this year, stay around. Carl is going to tell you about it. I promise you, we're getting out on time. When you go back to this next slide, here is the question. Where is your seat at the table? Where is your seat at the table as it relates to the GBCAC? We don't need you to show up just for money. We need you to show up so that we can have momentum. We don't need you to just show up when things are going well. We need you to be present when things are real tough for us. And we want you to know that you have a seat at the table. Next slide. What we've done over the last month, we have focused on all of these sectors. And this is what it originally looked like in 2016. 10 years ago, we have been at this work for now 16 years. And that's why we've been able to have the impact that we have. But here is the good news. Because of you and your participation on last month, we now will have an updated. I loved Lucretia's update. I want you to see this one more time. Look at this screen and then go back to Lucretia's slide, the ecosystem. Because of your input, because of your time being able to come here, we have the ability to make sure that we update our process. We want to know, what do we do? Who's supposed to do it? How do we hold people accountable? And because of you, you ought to clap for this. We have updated the process, and we promise every single time. Look, the first one was the 2016 version. Here we are with the 2026 version. And then we're also excited because we've added housing. Do you not know that so goes housing, so goes schools, grocery stores, and things like that? When this community lost major population, we gave the mayor at that time an excuse to close 17 schools over here because we were not organized. Because we were not organized. And now we have to say nothing about us without us in the greater Bronzeville community. Can I say it again? Nothing about us without us. Can I get everybody to say nothing about us without us? I am grateful. You're getting ready to hear from them in a minute, but I'm grateful for the presence. Y'all clap for our 2 school board members that represent this area. But they should never, and no school board member should ever be able to give a vote without first hearing our voice. They represent us. And that's what it's all about. And unfortunately, we've had a lot of folks to get in office off of name recognition or folks just not knowing who to vote for, so they just choose one. Not Greater Bronzeville. No, we're too smart for that. We're too wise for that. Next slide. So you need to understand that in November, next slide, there's going to be a new election. The mayor was able to appoint 21, out of the 21 school board members, he was able to appoint 11. This time, everybody got to run for their office. 21 new school board members. And what you see is that election is going to be on November the 3rd. And I need you to understand that it is really, really important that we hold our leaders accountable. We will create a report card for all of our school board members, all of our aldermen, all of our congress people, all of our legislators, all of our state reps, because we're going to vote for them based on what they brought to us. Oh, y'all ain't gonna clap for that. I don't care if your cousin is the political official. We need to hold them accountable. Because one thing is for sure, they not working for free. We're paying them. And we need to be able to assist them in an organized way to say, hey, go down to Springfield, represent our voice, cast your vote based on what we need in our community. Same thing for the aldermen. We need aldermen like Pat Dow, who comes to our meetings all the time. Y'all ought to clap for her, who's present all the time, goes and gets money and brings it back. But it is not fair for us to hold board members accountable and we are not accountable ourselves. Okay, y'all not going to talk to me. So that's why we're doing this work. And we're starting with schools and starting with education. Go to the next slide. Here is what you see, and I know the folks online can see it as well. This is what they originally were talking about. Well, I just want to put this up because this is what they were originally dealing with. You see 10A, 10B, 9A, 9B. Each one of these A's and B's represent a district area. And each one of these letters and numbers have a school board representative voting. If we don't hold the school board members accountable, we will have 21 people operating autonomously with no accountability, doing whatever they want to without talking to us. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. Next slide. So what we have done is we have decided as a CAC, and all CACs have agreed with us now, that we are going to make sure that the model that we've been able to build out here in the greater Bronzeville area, we're going to empower the other CACs with that same model and that same information so that they too can be strengthened. Y'all ought to be clapping for shared information. Because here's what we believe. There should be a CAC in every one of those represented districts. There should be a CAC in every single one. So we're talking about 20 to 21 community action councils. Unless, like in Greater Bronzeville, we cover 2 areas. And so we don't have to change that. And so if you go to the next map, this next map shows you where the current CACs are. But all of them are not active, all of them are not strong, and all of them have an opportunity to be empowered in the way that we are. It doesn't make us strong to brag about how we have organized. It makes our city better. It makes all of our schools better. If all of us collaborate and say, hey, whatever's going well over there in Greater Bronzeville, we want it to go well in every community. Clap on that if you really agree with that. So I want to humbly admit that some of the CACs are on hospice. Just like many of the hospitals on the south and west side. Just like many of our schools, they're on hospice. But the question is, who's going to bring revival? All of us in this room. And everybody that we will find in other communities that say we want to do the same exact thing. Watch this. Watch what's getting ready to happen. West side in this room, make some noise up in here. We appreciate all 4 of you all being here with us today. South side, make some noise up in this joint. Now, that was just an illustration and symbolic of what our responsibility is. Until the west side voice is as strong as ours, and until the south side voice is as strong as theirs, until every single community and district, when it comes to education, is strong, none of us should be proud of the fact that our voice is loud. We're taking this from a solo to a symphony, and that's what we're going to be doing in these particular meetings. I'm really excited, and I'm grateful that we have 2 board members that said, if y'all meeting, we showing up and we're coming. Would you clap your hands for one of our board members who's coming first, Jessica Biggs. Come on, clap your hands as she comes to greet us. Come on, make some noise for former principal in this area.
Good morning. It's a gift to be here again and again and again. I'm so proud to have served in this community as a principal really since 2012. That's a minute. I'm not going to take very much of your time today because it's more important to me that I'm listening to you than you're hearing from me. But I first and foremost want you to know that there are 38 schools in my district. I have visited every single one except for 2. Yes. But I really want to echo the calls that I hear today around strong CAC representation from across the city, right? So I am in each and every one of those schools because I want to make sure that the decisions I am making are anchored in the experience of our schools. And I will tell you, every school I go to, right, has their own facilities issue, wants their own brand new playground, right, which is important. Every single school should have all of those things. And we need to be coordinated, right, and collaborating about the things that we are asking for as a whole Bronzeville community, right? Because that is how we make sure that we're directing the resources to where we want them to go. We make sure that we are getting the things that we're asking for. This whole idea of nothing about us without us, it's coming. If we are not acting together and presenting a Bronzeville-anchored plan for what we want to see here. So you have my full support of that. I am excited to continue to work with you. If you want to make sure that we're paid, call your state legislator. Because I'm about to leave here and go to my day job so that I can keep doing this really important work on all of our behalves. So thank you.
Come on, clap one more time. Keep those hands clapping for our second school board member that represents our area, Shay Rhymefest Smith. Clap your hands for him as he comes. Thank you, man.
I had to tell the pastor, he smells so good. Boy, you attract everybody. And you know, again, when you say nothing about us without us, even that is in the legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., the way you rhyme in those words. That's art. And the only way that I can do this work that you all have elected me to do is turn the art into a ministry. If this wasn't a ministry to be on the school board and to be engaged in this work and be held accountable in community, if this wasn't a ministry, I wouldn't be able to do it effectively. And there are people in this room, from my family members, Nikki and Steve, my little cousin right there, to the man that held me accountable when he suspended me from South Shore, Dr. Wembley. Don't think I forgot. This was the first one that held me accountable in school, because I was a student on the margins, and here I am on the school board to protect students on the margins. So what have I done? What have I heard from you, and what have we done? Dr. Superintendent Macklin King wouldn't be here with us today if, when we first got on this board, I didn't hear from community that you didn't just want a CEO, you wanted somebody with a superintendent's licensure that knew how to run 622 schools. So that was the first thing we did when we got on the board. And because we passed that superintendent's licensure, that's why Dr. Macklin King is here with us today. If not, you would have had CPZ. I'm just telling you the truth. The other truth is, if you want Chicago Public Schools to truly engage with the communities in an authentic way, there's a brother right there named Kareem Pender with Family and Community Services from the FACE organization. We need FACE to be more engaged and have more FACE in our community, and Kareem can help make that happen. And we got to lean on not just the board members, but everybody in the institution to be held accountable. The other thing that we have done since we've been here, when that budget first came, they were trying to take a $200 and something million loan to pay it off. Now the city ended up taking that loan instead of the schools, and now the city is in junk bond status. What Dr. Macklin King did was did a community engagement in every neighborhood and said, this is what the budget is looking like. This is what our options are. What do you want to do? Not what do the politicians want to do. Dr. Macklin King took your voice and put it in the budget, and we didn't have to take a loan, and we're not in junk bond status right now. And the one thing that I've seen from over 75 schools that I've visited in 91 schools, not in 10A, I visited all the schools in District 10. And in those schools, the one thing that I see that makes a great school, it ain't even the funding. It's the leader of the school. How is that leader leading that school? And if you lead it like a ministry, if you lead it like Pastor Harris is leading this CAC, and I'm so glad that you're creating a playbook for other people to lead. I do a monthly engagement session called Building Futures, where we get about 100 to 200 people every month. The last one we did was at the University of Chicago School of Social Work about career pathways. Some of the same things I was hearing about CTE and trade, we were hearing from the leaders in community there. Make sure your board member is doing monthly one-on-one meetings. Where are those board office hours? I just did one at Struggle Beer Cafe in Hyde Park. We'll do another one next month. Come to my Facebook. Come to at Ryan Fest. They don't give us no money, but we can take what we got, the assets we have, and create the ministry, expand the ministry. Thank you for your ministry. The last words that Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. said to me 10 years ago was, Ryan Fest, you're not doing enough if you're just rapping. I said, well, I got Grammys and Oscars and all of this. He said, that was yesterday. What you do today, he said, you take those words and you walk through them and create what you rapping about. And he gave me 3 last words, and I'll leave these last words that Reverend Jackson said to me 12 years ago. He said, if you really want justice, agitate, litigate, and legislate. Thank you.
Come on, y'all, clap for our board members. Real quick, you know I'm going to get you out on time. Look at your table. There are barcodes on the table. Can y'all find those real quick? Find those barcodes. It's right there on the number. Hold it up for me, sis, so they can see that. Right? It's right there. Whatever your table number. Come on, let me see here. The table number, it's right there. There's a barcode. It gives you access to our partnership agreement. Now listen, when we go after funding, it is important that you understand that you must be a partner in order for us to share that funding with you. Again, we had a lot of our leaders who said, PCH, I can't be on the scene, but I'm going to be on the screen. And so we are online. And it's so very important that you all, if your organization is going to be a partner with this work, we need you to make sure that you see the partnership agreement and you make sure that you fill it out. There is a video we're going to share with you all, and we're just about done. I promise we're going to get out at 12 o'clock on time. You know I don't play with your time. It's very important that you understand there is space available. How many of you in this room are looking for space? Look at these hands up. Look at all these hands. There is space available to you, and there's a good-looking fella getting ready to show up on the screen. He'll give you space and $20. Clap your hands for this video.
Some buildings hold offices. This one holds a movement, and there's room for your organization here. Transformation has an address in Greater Bronzeville. The Urban Resilience Network Center is now leasing space to your nonprofit ready to make an impact. Turn Center is more than a building. It's 68,000 square feet in the heart of Bronzeville. Born from vision, community, and purpose, this dynamic facility is now open to organizations that are doing the real work of impact in the Chicagoland area. We are proud to offer space to like-minded, purpose-driven partners who are ready to collaborate, grow, and build a stronger city together. If your organization is empowering young people through youth development and education, healing hearts and communities through trauma-informed care, equipping residents with skills through workforce development, supporting housing stability and access through housing services, then Turn Center is where your mission belongs. Here you will find more than square footage. You join a thriving hub of community-based organizations dedicated to equity, healing, and opportunity. Whether you need office space, meeting rooms, or collaborative home base, Turn Center is ready for you. Be part of something bigger. Join a campus rooted in purpose and designed for impact. If you would like to schedule a tour or reserve your space, please contact Nicole Carter at ncarter@brightstarcdc.com or at 678-895-4851. Let's turn vision into reality together.
Can we clap it up for our visionary leaders today? Y'all can clap it up for our visionary leaders today. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as it indicated in the video, we have space at the Turn Center. We have 68,000 square feet. Bright Star Community Development Corporation, Bright Star Community Outreach, so a few other partners also share that space with us. But what we're doing right now is called the Seats of Hope Initiative. We're offering free space to 15 organizations who are starting 5 years or less in business, in operation, and we are helping you. This is one of the ways that we want to help get you established over the next year. So for the next 12 months, we are offering free. Y'all don't clap for nothing. 12 months. Yeah, like I like free stuff. Anybody else like free stuff? For 12 months, we are offering you a free opportunity to share space. In that space, you will have the opportunity to not only have room for your business, but also to network with other organizations who are doing similar work. There is an application process, so everybody will not be accepted. There are some metrics that we're looking at, so what I'm asking you to do again, contact Nicole Carter, ncarter@brightstarcdc.com. We will review your application. We've already received about 7 applications. So we are moving, and we're ready to offer those to some of those organizations. So if you're interested, please contact us today so that we can share this space with you. Thank you.
Come on, clap for our Executive Director of Bright Star CDC, Carl. And again, if you want space, don't reach out to me. I'm going to forget. If you want space, don't reach out to Lucretia. That's not her role. It is Carl. So please see the man with the green tie representing St. Patrick's Day today. That's a granddaughter's tie. Okay, ain't got nothing to do with him. All right, so we're really, really grateful for all of you all. I want to acknowledge the presence of our chief of all of our schools, Marlon Hester, who had another event. He left there early to get over here. So, Mr. Hester, would you please stand? Y'all clap your hands. He's leading. I'm grateful. We acknowledge Chief Mason. a little bit earlier. We acknowledge my man, 50 grand, Kareem Pender, who's leading the FACE department, so family and community engagement, who works with the community action councils. And then last but not least, I got to give it up for the guy who's been there for all of us. He's our A1 from day one, representing the Greater Bronzeville CAC, Carl Herdlick. Would you please come on, make some noise for Carl. Carl, if you'll come up and just share with us just a little bit about the LSC piece and a couple of other things, and we get ready to get out of here. One last big announcement, and then we're going. Clap for Carl one more time, everybody.
Thank you, Pastor Chris. And I just want to say, I see what you're doing here. Last week, meeting with the chairs and talking about not only what the CAC's been doing for 15 years, but the potential based on, the elections coming up in November. And getting buy-in from all the stakeholders here. I think it's just really exciting to be a part of your vision. So appreciate that. So anyway, today, as you all know, Illinois primaries. Tomorrow, in all of our schools, polls will be open 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. LSC elections. So hopefully some of you all are candidates, have been running, have been former members. And just encouraging you all as parents, as community residents, to be directly involved in choosing who is part of those LSCs at your local schools. They have real power, right? They look at the budgets, they choose the principals, they renew the contracts. And so it's important that you know who you are voting for and to hold them accountable, right? As we've been talking about a lot. So how have you been involved at this school? How have you been involved in Bronzeville? Have you taken the trainings so that you know what your responsibilities are? And then, of course, as Dr. King talked about, getting that quorum for the LSC so the LSCs can go about their business, right? So just encouraging you all, 6 a.m., 7 p.m. If you show up at a school, polls not open, you only got one judge, call us, 773-553-1400. We have a whole staff all day, and they will, rush right out to figure out what's going on at that specific school. Because what we want are open and honest elections, okay? So please vote tomorrow. Thank you.
Come on, clap for Carl just one more time. Thank you, everybody. So listen, the next thing that we'll be doing, my goal for next month for all of us, Asia, do we have our date for our next meeting? April 21st. April 21st. Can y'all take your phones out right quick now and go ahead and put that on your calendar? Of course, we're going to email you. Hopefully, when you registered up front, we have your correct email address. But we want you to be back here on next month. Here is what I can honestly tell you. I'm pretty sure that we may have to move the venue because people are coming to these meetings, and it's pretty amazing. So we're grateful, but we're going to do our best to accommodate as best as we possibly can. When we look at these three things, there's a couple of things that are vitally important that you understand. First of all, if we want them to retain our current CEO, call your mayor. Call my mayor. Call our mayor. Call their office and say, we think we got good leadership. Let's hold on to it. The challenge with bringing in new leadership from the outside is they don't know us. We don't know them. And then they got to go through a long learning curve. Now, I'm not saying that they're not capable, but I am saying progress will probably take longer. But when you have somebody that was raised up in the system, that you believed could actually interimly lead the system, why not give them a chance to enhance the system? At least we got somebody that we know has integrity. Amen to that. She has integrity, and that's really what it's all about. So please make sure that your voice is heard. And then last but not least, our goal for our next meeting is to have all of our political leaders that represent this area to be on this stage to help us to understand how we can partner with them to bring resources back to our community. Many of them are already doing it. But the more that they hear our voice, the more they will have information to direct their vote. But at the end of the day, I think they need to come and tell us how we can support them. Because you do realize that there are folks downstate that are fighting for us to get money, But there are folks that are fighting those who fight for us to have money. And if we go down and support their voice, I'm not just talking about in Springfield, I'm also talking about our aldermen. If we make sure that we go down to City Hall and say, hey, cut us in or cut it out. That's really the bottom line. And when they know that we are organized, it changes everything. I had the opportunity to talk to both of our chiefs, and I asked them about tutoring. And they both have signed up to say, we want you to go and get more resources in this environment where the budget is being cut. Because you do know that many of our students were behind 2 to 3 years before COVID. And then after COVID, it pushed them back an additional 2 to 3 years. You have to understand, our students need tutoring. So we work with them to create what we call Turn Center tutoring. And we're going to try to go and get the resources so that we can offer, I don't know if anybody will clap, collaboratively, free tutoring for all of our students in all of our schools. And then whatever other wraparound services. I'm grateful for principals, like the principal Rashad Talley here of Phillips. Please stand, sir. That man's one of our most faithful, active principals. And he had no problems with telling me, yeah, we're grateful for the athletic stuff that's brand new over there, but we still need to focus on academics. Can I say it again? Because they build prisons off of third grade reading scores, etc. But if we say nothing, we will get nothing. So I can't thank you all enough for being here today. Those that are on the scene and those that are, could y'all clap for those watching on the screen? Many of our principals, they're tuning in today, but we're grateful for all of you all that made it here today. And I just want to say this to all of you all. I will never waste your time. Can I say it again? I will never waste your time. We're going to work. We're going to build. And to our other CAC chairs and leaders, know that we are with you. Just like you're with us, we are with you. And we got work to do. What's the date of our next meeting? What's that date? What time? 10 o'clock. Please be on time because there will be no long line as you saw today. If you're in your seat at 10, we can start the meeting at 10. You have my word. You will always get out before 12. We're always going to respect your time, and we cannot wait to see you on next month. Please make sure you share today's meeting, and also make sure, please, let me make sure I go to my text because I don't want them to get me in no trouble. Did y'all fill out the card? You saw the QR code that's there. We will be back here on next month. Can't thank you all enough. What time were we supposed to get out? Get out of this building. You got 8 minutes early. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so very much for coming.